Hello and welcome to another FFL Tools instructional video. This instructional video will cover a firearm import. A firearm import can be found underneath the maintenance tab, and firearm import is used to bring existing firearm records into FFL Tools. If you're currently in FFL and you start using FFL Tools software, then most likely you have data existing in a paper-bound book or some other piece of software, and you need to bring your active inventory into FFL Tools. You can only import non-disposed firearms. Um, Anything that's disposed needs to remain in your existing book. Those records which you're bringing over, you would dispose to FFL Tools, and then you could use the firearm import mechanism to bring those firearm records into the software. When FFL Tools is installed, it installs a template file in a CSV format. You can import either a CSV or an XLS. I'm going to show you the CSV. It'll have a header line at the top which has to remain as is. It can't be altered or deleted. An asterisk next to a field indicates that it's a required field, and it's larger than my screen is, so I'm going to drag it over a little bit so you can see the other fields. Some fields, of course, are not required. SKU is not required. Description, secondary address, our acquire street to is not a required field. Importer is not required. When you're on the firearms import page, just like on any module within FFL Tools, you can click the question mark and it bring up the context sensitive help for that. In here you can read, oh, sorry, not on the import screen. Let's go there and hit the help. There we go. In there you can read all about how to do a firearm import. We list how large each field can be, what are required fields, what each field should hold. So we're going to click the list files. For the purposes of this video, I've made a test data XLS file. When I go to bring that in, it brings all the records from the file into this grid, and it indicates based on this color below what type of error you have. And so I've made all these different errors specifically so that I can show you this. Now you can go and edit the file itself directly to correct the errors, or you can correct the errors within this grid itself. So let's start going from the left to right, and we'll look at each one of these errors individually. So this indicates that there's a duplicate serial number. It could indicate that this serial number already exists in a non-disposed state in the FFL Tools database, or it could be a duplication right within the grid of information that you're pulling in yourself. So as you see, we've got IN 2987. If I were to come up here and change this to 2987, well, it's still going to be pink, and it's going to turn this one pink as well because I've duplicated it in the grid, and the other was a duplicate of something I already currently have in my bound book. So I'm going to put in a new serial number here, and when I hit enter, it'll clear that duplicate serial number information error from the screen. Here I have a firearm type listed as gun. It's an invalid firearm type. I know because I changed it, this is actually a pistol. Here I have no caliber specified. I'm going to put 45 ACP. Got a malformed date here. Need to put in a date that is in the correct format. Here I have a field length extended. State can only be 2 digits long, and it's supposed to be in the format of uppercase 2-digit abbreviation for the state. Since I have 2 here, I'll go ahead and demonstrate the mass edit. You could highlight any number of cells that you wanted to edit, and you could put in what you want to edit it to. Hit perform mass edit. As you see, it changed all of them. Over here I have a malformed batter missing FFL. Now FFL is not required because you could have received this from a user who did not have an FFL number, but in this case I did receive this from someone with an FFL number, and it does not have the proper format for it. I stopped it after that 5-2, I believe, so I'm going to put in 3 more characters, and now it is, at least in format, it is a valid FFL number. This does not do any verification that that's an active FFL number. That can be done in other places within the application. Here I have an acquired type that's an invalid acquired type. The valid acquired types can be found in the acquisition module in the combo box for acquired type. I know that loan is not one, although you could make that type of acquired type or transfer, something of that nature, but I don't currently have that in there as an acquired type, so I'm just going to change this to new. Now that I have no color-coded errors indicated anywhere in this grid, my Import Firearms Acquisitions button is enabled such that I can click it, and when I do so, I imported those 10 firearms into my bound book. Thank you very much.